All right, I'll give you that. Players liked having more change. Right. Players like having more large sets. Players were not enjoying the small sets as much as large sets. What if we stop doing small sets? Oh, wow. Okay. 4 large sets a year, though, would be too much, both the number of new cards and in the amount of work we need to do to produce them. What if we did 3 large sets a year? Except it would leave a hole in the schedule in the summer. Something we could fill it with. How about the product we were sad? What if we filled the slot with a core set? Not exactly a core set, as there were some problems with core sets, but how about a new product that... Oh, no. Just call it a core set. Just call them core sets. That got us the right number of cards, and if constructed correctly, could solve a few other outstanding problems. Next problem was, what would the 3 large sets mean for the creative team? Would each be its own separate world? We have the team in place design 2 worlds a year. Was 3 a possibility? And did it even want to be 3 different worlds? Wasn't there some worlds that wanted to spend more than 1 set on? We hashed through all this and arrived with a brand new model. So instead of it being the 2 set block, now we've got the 3-in-1 model. Okay. Before explaining the new model, I want to stress that the new system begins with soup in the spring of 2018. Both Amonkhet and Ixalan blocks will follow the current model, complete with a large and small set. The reason I'm writing this now is that later this week we're going to be introducing sets that fall under this new system. Alright. Change number 1. Fall, winter, and spring will all be large sets. There will no longer be small sets. Supplementary sets such as... Okay. Well, I mean, they're supplementary. That's their point. We don't... When we're talking about this kind of stuff, and I know Mero understands this, but for the purposes of those who aren't quite in the know, supplementary fun sets such as Conspiracy, Modern Masters, things like that, that's not... When we're talking about large set, small set, that's not what we're talking about. You know, Conspiracy and the supplementary sets, Modern Masters, they can be however big they want them to be. We're talking about actual official expansions to the Magic the Gathering game, ones that are usually entering the standard constructed format. And he even says that all main standard legal expansions will be large, all of them will be drafted alone. Good. From a design standpoint, each will have its own mechanical identity, although there is potential for a small amount of overlap. Alright. The reason for that is because from a creative standpoint, we plan to stay on worlds for as many sets as makes sense for the story. Some worlds will be a single set, while others might be 2 or 3 sets. If we stay on a world for more than 1 set, something about how the world is structured will let us have a delineation between the sets. For instance, under this new model, if we chose to stay on Kaladesh for 2 sets, we might have chosen to use energy in both sets, most likely playing around in different design spaces, but the rest of the mechanics would have been unique to the set. Note that sets that share a world won't necessarily overlap in any mechanics. This also means that we are essentially removing the concept of blocks. Whoa, that's big. Rip block constructed. That's never coming back, right? Sets will share worlds on occasion, but the preset structure of a locked number of expansions being played together is no more. Wow, that's huge. Blocks are gone. That is... Oof. Oh, Jesus. The summer set will be a revamped core set. Core sets are back. They've always had an identity problem. Are they for newer players or enfranchised players? What about disenfranchised players? Hey. No, good. Make it for new players. Just that whenever we got to a fork in the road, we picked the path, making this product the best introductory booster release possible. That is fine with me because it gives new players a chance to try things out. So good on you. Good on you. For starters, we're going to look at every new card through the lens of is okay, awesome. Make it simple. I will buy boxes of every single new core set because it's going to allow me to work with my kids for like just basic stuff. We could practice drafting. We could practice sealed construction. This is like the perfect education block. So I want to thank Wizards for doing this. I really do. Good job, Wizards. This means, for example, we will have a draft mastered more quickly than normal. Core set will also have stronger integration with sample decks, planeswalker decks, and deck builders toolkit. God bless. Good on you. Seriously, this is great. This is amazing. The set will be roughly half new cards and half reprints. All the cards will be standard legal. The new cards will push towards resonance, aka new things things the new player will already recognize by having a familiarity with fantasy from pop culture. The set will have some story relevance, but more in a filling in information of the past about relevant characters' way than telling a piece of the present day story. Okay. Good. Good. Probably the biggest change about the new core set is a philosophy in how we think about it. In the past, we stuck the core set on equal footing with 3 other major sets, but with its return, we're going to treat it differently. Different purpose, different priorities, and is going to be designed with a different approach. As such, we're not going to treat it as if it's just like the main 3 expansions. So it looks like, according to this... Oh, this is the current state of standard, right. So according to this animated GIF, okay, we've got the 2-block paradigm here. Gonna go Ixalan eggs, then from soup on, we're gonna get a core set. Looks like what they said, every summer. So the 3rd set in the year. And from then, it's just gonna be that way. That's cool. Okay, here we go. A different approach to the Gatewatch. Starting with Hour of Devastation, we're making 3 fixes. We're significantly pulling back on how often the Gatewatch will appear as Planeswalker cards. It will still happen when the story calls for it, but far less often. For example, for all of 2017 and 18, only a handful of Planeswalker cards will be Gatewatch members. That's including in Planeswalker decks, where they'll appear slightly more often. Our new plan is to continue to design flavorful story cards, but only push them for constructed when we believe they lead to a better constructed environment. Yeah, stop trying to make story... Stop trying to make story cards a thing. Stop it. They're bad. I don't think I've ever seen a good story card. Stop it. The Gatewatch are still going to be our protagonists, but every member will no longer show up in every block. We may even have blocks where none of the Gatewatch appear. God bless. Although even those blocks will still be relevant to the larger story. Even better. Can we have a block where Bolas is the good guy? Can that be a thing? Maybe we want to explore what Bolas is doing. Maybe we want to explore what Tezzeret's doing. Let's bring back the Phyrexians, but instead of them being the bad guys, let's make them the good guys. Can we do that? Maybe we're quashing the final, bits of resistance in Kuldotha on New Phyrexia. Can we do that? Can we do that? God. The Masterpiece series will revert to being in fewer sets. Good. The more we worked on making Masterpieces, the more we realized that doing one every set would eventually lead to the overall quality level dropping below our standards. Oh, you mean like Amonkhet? So we've decided to make a big change with them. We're only going to do them when we can do something amazing. Good. 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 Thank you, Wizards. This is good. Thank you. That means they aren't going to be something we do often, but when we do them, they're going to be memorable. Hour of Devastation will still have Amonkhet invocations, but for example, Ixalan block will not have any masterpieces. Sweet. We're changing things behind the scenes. Today's article isn't really about this one, but I want to bring it up because it was the process of adapting to the 2-block model that made us realize what we wanted to iterate on how we make Magic. There have been substantial changes behind the scenes, but I'm going to write... Okay, whatever. Standard had a rough year. Rough year, yeah. Spin that Marvel. Play that Ula Wiggle. Ban that Emrakul. We formed a new group in R&D called Play Design. Turning a couple of our contractors to full-time employees. Welcome. All right, good on you, Melissa DeTora. This is the idea that I've said for games like Warframe, where you can tell the devs don't actually play their game. I mean, sure, Becca plays, but does she really play? Like, you have to get someone who knows what they're doing to play the game, be on your design team, and actually tell you, no, it's not going to work because of this, 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 and this. And I'm thankful that Magic is doing that. So shout out to R&D. Good on you. The idea of play design is having a core set of people focused on the play environment, mostly standard, draft, and sealed. They will be dedicated not just to play testing, but to be available from the very start of the process. Okay, good. 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 I don't know how many times I have to yell good at you. This is fantastic. This is literally amazing. Magic at its heart is... Okay. The card mix is constantly shifting. Magic today is not the same as it was 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, which is true. Holy crap. Holy crap. Or as today's article explains, even last year. And just let Mero know how it went. This is massive. This article is fantastic. I highly recommend, if you care about the game like I do, if you care about Magic the Gathering, please read not only Metamorphosis 2.0 but also Metamorphosis 1.0 so that you can understand. You need to read Metamorphosis 1.0 to understand the changes that they've made in Metamorphosis 2.0. Okay? You gotta read them both. They're fantastic articles. Highly recommend you take them. You check them out. Thank you very much for listening to this. I'm probably going to split this into 2 parts. The first part's going to go over their successes and problems, and the second part is going to go into the changes. So I'm going to split this video in half. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you like the video, if you like both videos, I'm going to split it. Hit the like, share it around, comment. How do you feel about Metamorphosis 2.0? If the announcements are going to be this big for the entire week, I might do a video every day. I don't know if it's going to be uploaded in such a time, but I'm going to make my opinions known. Comment. Let's have a discussion. I want to talk about this kind of stuff. Share the video around. Give me your, get other people involved. If you like what I do, if you like the things my thoughts on things, you want to hear more, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell for the notifications. Your support is everything. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. You guys are the best, and I will see you when I see you.